YouTube, new family. What is going on? Daniel here for another video. Shooting this quickly. I actually have a family event, so I won't be able to do interviews today. Plan is to do it tomorrow, if God gives me another day. But I have to come on here, as always, and speak, remove the devils, the things that attack, that put me in ego, or try to put me in ego. Only if you listen. But essentially, it's crazy because you will be attacked on this path. I feel it, and I feel even more because this morning was a day where, like any other, was grateful to wake up. Had a lot of events yesterday, dinner, went to a festival for like a few minutes, and then also had salsa after. So eventful day. Got to see other people I haven't seen in a long time, connect with them. Came back home. I went to bed, 10, 15, something like that. Woke up before 5 as always. Stomach was a little bad because of the restaurant, but that was perfect. But essentially afterwards, I got a message from my brother, Mike, I always speak about, my spiritual brother. The past 16 months, I believe, maybe going on 17, I've been with him. And he's helped me grow massively in terms of, how to remove the ego over and over, shed the ego, and find my gift, which is speaking, which is opening souls. And he just wanted information on, if I was going to continue with him, which is obviously fine, to know for himself. But from then, that message, it put me in this, it's just, all these stories came all of a sudden, I was attacked of like, how am I going to do this for? Can I continue? Should I continue? What happens if I don't? Can you do it without him? Is it worth it? How long is it going to be for? Like all these different stories. And then started getting to things about money and, can you even keep up doing it? And I realized after speaking with him on a call and afterwards, just full attack of the devil, and it's perfect because that you're something that, or someone, a soul that has a big purpose. The more you're attacked, the more you have these things that come out of nowhere, these thoughts, stories. Realize it's perfect. Take it as a privilege, you could say, to walk this path and have this warfare going on. Because at the end of the day, there's only two people in this life that, you have to put your attention on. Well, actually, there's only one. The second one is going to try to take your attention away from him. And, the first person is Jesus. The only person is Jesus you have to put your attention on. Not putting your attention on what people think, their ego, their opinions, what they can say about you, what they think, which is control, it's fear. It's really, how close are you to Jesus? How close are you to hearing him, meaning being guided by him, being guided by the Holy Spirit, walking in your purpose, walking in the ways that you're put here to help him save souls. And the second person is going to try to take away from him is the enemy, devil. And he's going to, lure you in with things like feelings, things like, stories, things that you give feelings to externally. It could be money, it could be relationships, it could be trips, traveling, business. Everything he's going to try to give a feeling to and try to get you away from peace, away from alignment, away from connecting with him. And, when you're connected with Jesus, it's not a feeling, it's a frequency. And also it's, he's guiding you. You can feel where he's trying to guide you. It's not, this voice that comes out of nowhere. For me, it's funny because I was reading the Bible and my ego was trying to, get into it and into my head and say, why don't you have things like this happen to you? If you believe so much in God and Jesus, why do you not have these things, where there's clear signs, like Paul, when he was basically going to persecute some Christians, he was called on his way there, and basically a light from heaven came and Jesus spoke to him directly. So my ego's why don't you have that? This Paul guy, is he even real? It's all these different things that it tries to get you away from, but realize that yeah, it's something that, it's just a story, it's fake. And it's about, like I said, finding the peace within yourself, realizing that when you don't have peace, you have stories, you have feelings. And like for me, like I said, this came out of nowhere, because, it's just one message just basically opened the floodgates of stories. And for me, that shows that I still need more training. I still need more work to do on this, because, when I do get to the top of, my field, you could say, my niche, like who knows what it is? Only Jesus knows. I just know that I have a gift of opening up souls. I've had this since I was younger, even like with using that with women to sleep with them. Like it's something that I use for the wrong purposes, because I always talk about this with him, is that, when I was baptized, I was given the Holy Spirit, but my ego, being as strong as it is, it lied to me with feelings. Every time the Holy Spirit tried to come in, the ego just gave me a feeling, gave me something else to go for. So, it wasn't until I experienced all the feelings that I thought I needed, or that my ego sold me on, and I didn't get anything from it, that, shame finally hit, and I finally walked my true path. But like I said, even on this path, alignment, all these different things is going against that ego that, has guided me in a life of sin before. And like I said, now with this, and extending with, I don't even see him as a coach, I just see him as a brother, best friend, someone that has guided me, and, even guided himself. We've guided ourselves together, as a team, to walk this path, because guys, truly this path is the 0.01% lifestyle. It's not something that you just come across someone on the street, some stranger, and he's walking this path. Like, removing vices, not missing on our habits, killing the ego, removing things, something small, something big, like just constantly finding where the ego is trying to, misalign us, give us a feeling, or get us into control and fear, and we remove it. And it's been things that are unconventional, on things that are, don't make sense. But, at the end of the day, like it says in the Bible, like, having things around you, but not having your soul, not having alignment, not having peace, what's the point? What's the point of having these external things, which are important? It's not saying not to have external things, but what is the point of having them if you're not aligned, if you're not in peace, if you're not connected to the source, if you're not, getting guided? Like, it's all for a feeling. You get one thing and you want a feeling from something else. And like I said, you live for your ego like I did. So yeah, guys, realize as I'm making this video, I still feel heavy. I'm going to go pray after this and, enjoy the family. But like I said, they could feel real, the stories, but they're not. But the attack is real. If that makes sense. The stories that he gives you, the ways he wants to attack you is fake. But him, the enemy attacking you, is real, because he knows that you have a treasure, you have a jewel, a diamond. And, he does not want other souls listening to you. He does not want souls paying attention to you, because this whole life is a game of souls. You have a soul. I have a soul. Everyone watching has a soul. Even animals have souls. All animals go to heaven. I believe even dogs go to heaven. But the point is, humans have free will, have the free will to think and choose every day if they're going to choose their ego and feelings, or choose peace and frequency and, Jesus. So I realize when you have an attack, that's not your choice, but your choice is to listen to it. So that's where it comes in. It's not your choice if you're attacked, or how you're attacked, or when, or what the attack looks like, but listening to the attack and responding to it, and getting into it and believing it's real is something that you can control. So it comes with spiritual training, and yeah, guys, it's tough. Like I've been 16 months, 17 months really walking this path, and even this one I never had before. Like just the huge trend, the huge contrast of 1 minute, being fine, like grateful, happy, have another day, flowing, you could say, in a way, or, just having a good morning. And then the next, hearing a message, and then all of a sudden stories, lost in the ego. And yeah, guys, the devil does not want us together. The devil will try to remove things that are meant to be together. And it's about realizing that. And it's crazy as well because we started up again with our faith and frequency calls. And, yesterday we had a crazy one, really, really good one. Had a crazy day at church, was flowing with people that I know, was able to connect. And then, this. So it's like, it's perfect because I know from this I grew more. This happened before I went to Ecuador and I grew massively. So, it's just overcoming and realize it's not real. It's just an attack. It's like, an octopus, when he throws that ink at you, that jelly, it's the same thing, more or less. It's like you can react to it and believe it's, I'm blind, and but it's just like, moving it and realizing this, it's not real. It's stories, it's thoughts, it's thinking. It's not, and feelings are tries to give the thoughts. But realize your frequency is what's real, your alignments is what's real, your peace is what's real. Everything else is fake. All the feelings it gives you, thoughts, comparing, competing, doubting, fear, worry. Yeah, like all these things that before you don't think about when you're high frequency, but you do when you're low frequency. It's just a tool it uses. So, hey guys, everything is good. I have another day. I'm here making a video. I have family that's waiting for me to go enjoy food that we have under a roof, in a first world country where we're safe and there's not, things going on around us. There's not like, any kind of risk of death, immediate death. I have income from a job that I do that, isn't hurting anybody. Before I was making income from, vices of people, OnlyFans, using their lust against them. And yeah, and any money I made from that, it felt like truly like a sin. Like it was for me, I believe, a sin. Just I couldn't have a clear conscience with it. I couldn't enjoy it no matter how much money came, 50,000, whatever it was. I didn't make those amounts, but yeah, it's just I couldn't enjoy it. Like I just felt like this is hell. It doesn't matter. Like money is it's just something. It's not anything. That makes sense. It's just a tool. It's like this box. Like it's just a resource. If I have 10,000 of those boxes, do I give a feeling to it? No, but same thing with money. It's just a resource. It's just something that we use. But this society, this world that's ran by, again, the enemy, tells us to tie ourselves and who we are to these things that we have, money, tie yourself to the amount you have and what you make per month and, how fast you make it and, what you can buy with it and the feeling you get from it. And it just tells you to tie yourself to money. But, you're not money, you're a soul, your spirit, you are your gift, you are your habits, you are the intangible things, the love in your heart, the peace in your heart, the forgiveness in your heart, the reciprocity, that's a word, your empathy, your mercy, your grace, the Holy Spirit, your Holy Spirit should be your best friend. The Holy Spirit should be your best friend. It's my best friend. It's put me here in a place where even though I can get attacked and believe it's real, I still have something protecting me from going out and sinning and, going back again to fornicating, going to, watching porn, masturbating, not saying that drinking is considered a sin, but getting drunk is a sin. Doing things like that, like just losing yourself in vices. Like there's nothing that ties me to that, even when I can get attacked. So just realize that you can get an attack, you can get demons after you, but realize there's still angels that are fighting for you. There's still angels fighting for you. Crazy when I say that. There's angels fighting for you every day, every single moment, even when you sleep, because the soul doesn't sleep. The soul is constantly awake. Even when you're asleep, 8 hours, whatever amount you sleep, your soul is awake. Your body's asleep. Your flesh, it's recovering and doing what it has to do to recover for the next day, but your soul is awake. So that's why dreams are spiritual. That's why, you never really sleep, because you are a soul, You're using this body, you're renting this body, you're renting these eyes to watch this video, you're renting, this phone, everything you have is rented, because if you go tomorrow, it's not coming with you. The only thing that goes with you is you, your soul, and your six senses. And the rest is, the path that's for you, either with the King of Kings or the enemy. There's no other, third place. There's no purgatory. There's no other, religious belief that you go here or get this. Like, it's with Jesus or with the enemy. It's peace and glory and singing his name with angels, or torture and suffering with demons. It's really that simple. It doesn't matter the religion you believe in. There's only one truth, one way, one life. And even me, no matter where this path takes me, I'm willing to die for that truth, truly. And yeah, like, who knows what happens in the next 5 years, 10 years, where things are going, because we truly are in end times, guys. There's gonna be much more lies that are told to us, many more attacks on us spiritually that we believe are physical or mental. We look at things physically, mentally, but everything is spiritual. So realize that, with all these things that talks about war and stuff like that, it's just the beginning. It's truly just the beginning. So, be ready if you are a soldier, if you are a disciple of Jesus, of Christ, that things are going to get harder before they get, better. But that all you need is him, no matter how hard, or how much you have to suffer in this life, realize that the prize, the glory, the kingdom is worth it. So we keep making the choices, we keep discovering things about this path. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming to be the second coming or, someone that, is above anybody. I simply walk my path. I, tell you guys what I learn, how I experience it, how I keep growing with this. I keep growing even in, days that are considered not ideal or, not even bad, because you can say maybe bad, yeah, but it's perfect because tomorrow is a reset. I'm still gonna enjoy today because I'm alive, and still gonna keep learning how the ego works, to keep removing it over and over and over and over and over and over until the day I die, and then from there, that's the only way to get, because we made a call about this yesterday, crazy, flowing, both of us, but truly the only way to get to Jesus is giving your gift, helping him save souls, and removing your own ego. That's the only two things that matters, suffering to remove your ego and giving your gift to the world that helps him save souls, planting seeds with your gift. And that's it. This is as simple as it is. But I guess we'll leave it there. I have family here, I believe they're calling my name. But I'm gonna enjoy with them. But I have to make a quick video, get this out there, because like I said, guys, tomorrow is another day. If God gives me another day, I am thankful. If not, I had to make this video anyways, so it's perfect. But guys, I truly live day to day. I don't see anything of 5 weeks, 5 years, 5 decades, it's truly the next day and the next day and whatever he gives me. So we'll leave it there, guys. Much love. Thanks to you for watching. Like and subscribe, comments as well if you get anything from it. If you hate the video as well, comments. I want to hear where you're at, because it's gonna be your ego commenting, so it's perfect. Feel free to write anything you want, because yeah, guys, we live in a spiritual warfare, so it's about understanding that you are not ego and that you are soul, that you're a spirit. So God bless, guys. Much love. Like I said, we'll leave it there. But until next time, you are soul, your spirit. I love you, and keep killing it.